The complete work of Swami Vivekananda, Volume 6, Section 4, Epistles. 10th, Bagbazar, Calcutta. 2nd September 1889. Dear Sir, some days ago I received two kind letters. I am very much pleased to find in you a wonderful harmony of Jnana and Bhakti. Your advice to me to give up arguing and disputing is very true indeed. And that is really the goal of life for the individual. Sundered are the knots of the heart. Torn off are all his doubts. Sundered are knots of the heart. Torn off are all his doubt. And the seeds of his karma wears off. And the seeds of his karma wears off. When the sight of the transcendent one is gained. When the sight of transcendent one is gained. But then, as my master used to say, when a pitcher is been filled by emotions, it gurgles. But when full, it is noiseless. Know my condition to be the same. Within 2 or 3 weeks, perhaps, I shall be able to meet you. May God fulfill thy wish. Yours, Vivekanand. 11th. Bagbazar, 3rd December 1889. Dear Sir, I have not heard from you for a long time. I hope you are doing well in body and mind. Two of my brother disciples are shortly leaving for Varanasi. One is Rakhal by name and other is Subodh. The first named was beloved of my master and used to stay much with him. Please recommend them to some Satra house of alms. During their during their stay in the city. If you find it convenient, you will hear from them all my news. With my best regards and greeting, yours Vivekanand. P.S. Gangadhar. P.S. Gangadhar is now proceeding to Kailas. The Tibetans wanted to slash him up on the way, taking him to be the spy of the foreigners. Eventually, some lamas kindly set him free. We obtained his news from a Tibet-going trader. Gangadhar's blood would not cool down Lhasa. Before saying Lhasa. The gain is that his physical endurance has grown immensely. One night he passed uncovered on the bed of snow, and that without much hardship. Vivekanand. 12th. Bangalore, Calcutta, 13th December 1889. Dear Sir, I have all particulars from your letters and from the calls which followed. I came to know of your meeting. I have received the pamphlet written by you. A kind of scientific Advaitism has been spread in Europe even since the theory of conservation of energy was discovered, but all that is parinamavad. But all that is parinamavad. Evolution by real modification. It is good you have shown the difference between this and the Shankara's Vivartavad. Progressive manifestation by unreal superimposition. I cannot appreciate your sitting Spencer's pardary on the German transcendentalist. He himself is fed much on their doles. It is doubtful whether opponent our opponent Go understands his Hegel sufficiently. Anyway, your rejoinder is very pointed and thrashing. Yours Swami Vivekananda. 13th, Baidyanath, 26 December 1889. Dear Sir, after a long attempt, I think I am now in a position to present myself before you. In a day or two, I take myself to your feet at the holy Kashi. I have been putting up here for some days with the gentlemen of Calcutta, but my mind is much longing for Varanasi. My idea is to remain there for some time and to watch how Vishwanatha and Annapurna deals it out to my lot. And dissolve my resolve is sometimes or something like either to lay down either to lay down my life or realize my ideal. So help me, the Lord of Kashi. Yours, Vivekanand. 14th, Allahabad. Dear Sir, 14th, Allahabad, 13 December 1889. Dear Sir, I wrote in a letter to you that I was to go to Varanasi in a day or two, but who can nullify the decree of providence? News reached me that the brother disciple Yogin by name had been attacked with smallpox after arriving here from the pilgrimage of Chitrakuta, Omkarnath, etc. And so I came to this place to nurse him. He has now completely recovered. Some Bengali gentlemen here are of a greatly pious and loving disposition. They are very loving, taking care of me, and their importunate desire is that I should stay here during the Magha, month of Magh, that is Jan and February, keeping the Kalpa vow. But my mind is very keenly harping on the name of Varanasi and is quite going to see you. Yes, I am going to try my best to sleep away and avoid their opportunities in a day or two and betake myself to the holy realms of the lords of Varanasi. If one of my monastic brother disciple, Achyutananda Saraswati by name, calls on you to enquire of me, please let him know I am coming soon to Varanasi. He is indeed a very good man and learned. I was obliged I was obliged to leave him behind at Bankipur. Are Rakhal and Subodh still there in Varanasi? Please inquire and inform me whether the Kumbh fair this year is going to be held at Haridwar or not. Many of the men of wisdom, of pity, many of sadhu holy people and pandits have I met in so many places and I have been very much favored by them. But भिन्न रुचिर्हि भिन्न रुचिर्हि लोकः. Men are of varying taste. Raghuvansham. I know now, I know not what sort of soul affinity there is between us, for nowhere else does it seems to pleasing and agreeable as with you. Let me see how the Lord of Kashi disposes. Yours, Vivekanand. My address is under care of Govinda Chandra Basu, Chowk, Allahabad. 15th. Salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, Allahabad, 5th Jan 1890. My dear sir, I am very sorry to hear of your illness from your kind note. The gist of the letter I wrote to you about your change to Baidyanath was that it would be impossible for a man of weak and extreme delicate physical like you to live in that place unless you spent a good deal of money. If change be really advisable for you, and if you have deferred it so long simply to select a cheaper place and that sort of things. It is certainly a matter of regret. Baidyanath is excellent so far as the air is concerned, but the water is not good. It upsets the stomach. It used to suffer from acidity every day. I have already written you a letter. Have you got it? Or finding it a bearing letter? Have you left it to its fate? In my opinion, if you have to go away for the change, the sooner the better. But pardon me, you have a tendency to expect that everything should fit in exactly with your requirements. But unfortunately, such a state of things is very rare in the world. Atmanam atmanam satatam rakshate raksheta. One must save oneself under any circumstances. Lord have mercy is all right, but he helps him who helps himself. If you simply try to save your purse, will the Lord arrange the change for you by drawing on his ancestral capital? If you think you have so much reliance on the Lord, don't call in the doctor, please. If that does not suit you, you should go to Varanasi. I would have already left this place, but the local gentleman would not give me leave to depart. But let me repeat once more, if change is actually decided upon, please do not hesitate out of miserable lines. That would be suicide, and not even God can save a suicide. Please convey my compliments to Tulsi Babu and the rest. With best regards, your affectionately Vivekanand. 16. Care under care of Babu Satish Chandra Mukherjee, Gora Bazar, Gazipur, 21st Jan 1890. Dear Sir, I reached Gazipur 3 days ago. Here I am putting up in the house of Babu Satish Chandra Mukherjee, a friend of my early age. The place is very pleasant, close by flows of Ganga, but bathing there is troublesome, for there is no regular path, and it is very hard work wading through sands. Babu Ishan Chandra Mukherjee, my friend's father, that noble-hearted man of whom I spoke to you is here. Today he is leaving for Varanasi, whence he will proceed to Calcutta. I again had a great mind to go over the Kashi, but the object of my coming here, namely, has an interview with the Balaji, has not yet been released, and hence the delay of few days becomes necessary. Everything here appears good. The people are all gentlemen, but very much westernized, and it is a pity I am so thoroughly against affectation, every affectations of the Western idea. Only my friend very little affects such idea. What a frippery civilization is it, indeed, that the foreigners have brought over here. What a materialistic illusion have they created. May Vishwanatha save this weak-hearted. After seeing Babaji, I shall send you a detailed account. Yours, Vivekanand. Yes, alas, for the irony of our fate, that is that in this land of Bhagwan Shuka's birth, renunciation is renunciation is looked up down upon a madness or a sin. 17th. Gazipur, 31st Jan 1890. Dear Sir, it is so very difficult to meet Babaji. He does not step out of the home, and when willing to speak at all, he just comes near the door to speak from inside. I have come away with having just a view of his garden house, with chimney tapering above and encircled by high walls. No means of admittance within. People say there are cave like rooms within where he dwells, and he only knows what he does there. Not for nobody has been or has had a peep. I had to come away one day sorely used up with waiting and waiting, but shall take my chance again. On Sunday, I leave for Holy Varanasi. Only the Babus here won't let me off. Otherwise, all my fancy to see the Babaji has flattened down. I am prepared to be off today. But anyhow, I am leaving on Sunday. What of your plan of going to Rishikesh? Yours, Vivekanand. P.S. The redeeming feature is that the place seems healthier. 18th. Ghazipur, 4th Feb. 1890. Dear Sir, received your kind note and through supreme good fortune I have obtained an interview with Babaji. A great sage indeed. It is all very wonderful. And in this atheistic age, a towering representation of marvelous power born of bhakti and yoga. I have sought refuge in His grace, and He has given me hope, a thing very few may be fortunate enough to obtain. It is Babaji's wish that I stay on for some days here, and he would do me some more good. So, following this saint's bidding, I shall remain here for few days. Now, no doubt, this will give you also much pleasure. I don't mention them in a letter, but the facts are very strange indeed to be disclosed when we meet. Unless one is face to face with the life of such men, faith is the scriptures does not grow in all its real integrity. integrity. Yours, Vivekanand. 19th. Ghazipur, 7th February 1890. Dear Sir, I feel very happy to hear from you just now. Apparently, in his feature, the Babaji is a Vaishnav, the embodiment, so to speak, of yoga, bhakti, and humility. His dwelling has walls on all sides with the few doors inside in them. Inside these walls there is one long underground burrow wherein he lays himself up in samadhi. He talks to others only when he comes out of the hollow. Nobody knows that what he eats, and so they call him Pavahari Pavahari Baba. Once he did not come out of the hole for 5 years, and the people thought he had given up his body. But now again he is out. But this time he does not show himself to people and talks from behind a door. Such sweetness in speech I have never come across. He does not give a direct reply to the questions but says, what does this servant know? But then fire comes out as the talking goes on. On my pressing him very much, he said, favor me highly by staying here some days. But he never speaks in this way. So from this I understood he meant to resume me, and whenever I am important, importunate, importunate, he asks me to stay on. So I wait in hope. He is a learned man, no doubt, but nothing is the line betrays itself. He performs spiritual ceremonials for from the full moon day to the last day of the month. Sacrificial oblations go on. So it is sure he is not retiring into the hole during this period. How can I ask his permission? For he never gives a direct reply. It goes on multiplying such expressions as this servant, my fortune, and so on. If you yourself have a mind, then come sharp on receipt of this note, or after his passing away, the keenest regard or regret will be left in your mind. In 2 days, you may return after an interview. I mean, a talk with him ab intra. My friend Satish Babu will receive you most warmly, so do come up directly you receive this. I shall meanwhile let Babaji know of you. Yours Swami, yours Vivekananda. P.S. Even though one cannot have his company, no trouble taken for the sake of such a great soul can ever go unrewarded. 20th, Gazipur, 13 Feb 1890. Dear Sir, I am in anxiety to hear of your illness. I am also having some sort of pain in the loins, which, been aggravated too late, gives much trouble. For 2 days I could not go out to meet Babaji, and so the man came from him to inquire about me. For this reason I go today. I shall convey your countless compliment. Fire comes out. That is a wonderful devotion to Guru. Resignation are revealed, and such amazing endurance and humanity I have never seen. Whatever good things I may come to by, whatever good things I may come by, sure you have your share in them. Yours Vivekanand, 21st, 21, Gazipur, 14th Feb 1890. Dear Sir, in my note of yesterday, I perhaps forgot to ask you of to return Brother Sharat's letter. Please send it. I have heard from Brother Gangadhar. He is now in Rambha Samadhi, Srinagar, Kashmir. I am greatly suffering from lumbago. I am greatly suffering from lumbago. Yours, Vivekanand. P.S. Rakhal and Subodh have come to Vrindavan after visiting Omkar, Girnar, Abu, Bombay, and Dwarika. 22. Victory of the Lord, Ghazipur, 19 Feb 1890. Dear Sir, I wrote a letter to Brother Gangadhar asking him to stop with wandering and settle down somewhere and to send me an account of various sadhus he had come across in Tibet and their ways and customs. I enclose the reply that came from him. Brother Kalli is having repeated attack of fever at Rishikesh. I have sent him a wire from this place. So if from the reply I find I am wanted by him, I shall be obliged to start direct from Rishikesh from this place. Otherwise, I am coming to you in a day or two, when you may smile, sir, to see me weaving all this web of Maya. And that is no doubt the fact. But then there is a chain of iron and there is a chain of gold. Much good comes of the latter, and it drops off by itself when all the good is ripped. The sons of my master are indeed the great objects of my service, and here alone I feel I have some duty left for me. Perhaps I shall send Brother Kali down to Allahabad or somewhere else as convenient. At your feet you laid a hundreds and one faults of mine. I am as thy son, so guide me, who have given, who have taken refuge in there. Yours Vivekanand. 23rd, 23rd. Salutation to Bhagwan Sri Ramakrishna. Ghazipur, February 1819. Beloved Ekanand Nath, Ikhandanand. Beloved Ikhandanand. Very glad to receive your letter. What you have written from about Tibet is very promising, and I shall try to go there once. In Sanskrit, Tibet is called as Uttara Uttar Kuruvarsha, and is not the land of Michigans. Being the highest tableland in the world, it is extremely cold, but by degree one may become accustomed to it. About the manners and customs of Tibetans, you have written nothing. If they are so hospitable, why did they not allow you to go on? Please write everything in details in a long letters. I am sorry to learn that you will not be able to come, for I had a great longing to see you. It seems that I love you more than all others. However, I shall try to get rid of this Maya too. The Tantrics write among the Tibetans that you have spoken of arose in India itself during the decline of Buddhism. It is my belief that the Tantras in the Voj among us were the creation of Buddhists themselves. Those tantric rites are even more dreadful than our doctrine of Vamachara, for in them adultery got a free rein, and it was only when the Buddhists became demoralized through immortality that they were driven away by the Kumarila Bhatt. As some sannyasin speak of Shankara or the bowls of Sri Chaitanya, that he was a secret and in secret a picture, a drunkard, and one addicted to all sort of abominable practices. So the modern tantric Buddhists speak of a long Buddha, of Lord Buddha as a dire Vamachari, and give an obscene interpretation to the many beautiful precepts of Prajnaparamita, Prajnaparamita, such as Tatvagata and the like. The result of all this has been that the Buddhists are divided into two sects nowadays. The Burmese and the Sinhalese have generally set the Tantras at naught and have likewise banished the Hindus' god and goddesses, and at the same time have thrown overboard the Amitabh, Amitabha Buddha, held in regard among the northern schools of Buddhism. The long and the short of it is that the Amitabha Buddha and the other gods whom the North School worships are not mentioned in the book, like the Prajna Paramita, Prajna Paramita. But a lot of gods and goddesses are recommended for worship, and the southern people have willingly transgressed the Shastras and subdued the gods and goddesses. The phase of Buddhism which declares everything for others and which you find spread throughout Tibet has greatly struck modern Europe. Concerning that phase, however, I have a good idea to say, which is impossible to do in this letter. What Buddha did was to break wide open the gates of very religion which was confined in the Upanishads to the particular caste. What special greatness does this theory of nirvana confer on him? This greatness lies in his unrevealed sympathy, the high order of the samadhi, etc., that lend gravity to his religion are almost all there in the Vedas. What are absent there are his intellect and heart, which have never been paralleled throughout the history of the world. The Vedic doctrine of karma is the same as in the Judaism and all other religions. That is to say, the purification of the mind through the sacrifice and such other external means, and Buddha was the first man who stood against it. But the inner essence of the ideas remain as of old. Look at the doctrine of mental exercise which he preached, and that mandate of his to believe in the suttas instead of the Vedas. Caste also remained as the old. Caste was not voluntarily absolved at the time of Buddha, but it was now determined by the personal qualification, and those that were not believers in his religion were declared as heretics all in the old style. Heretic was a very ancient word with the Buddhists, but they never had re- recourse of recourse to the sword and had great tolerance or toleration. Blew up the Vedas. But what is the proof of your religion? Well, but faith in it. The same procedure is the same procedure has in all religions. It was, however, an imperative necessity of the times, and that was the reason of his his having incarnate himself. His doctrine is like that of Kapila, but the Shankara, how far more grand and rational. Buddha and Kapila are always saying the world is full of grief and nothing but that. Flee from it. Yeah, for your life do. In happiness together, absent here. It is a statement of the nature of what the Brahmos say. The world is full of happiness. There is grief, forsooth, but what can be done? Perchance, some will suggest that grief itself will appear as happiness when you become used to it by constant suffering. Shankara does not take this line as argument. He says, this world is and is not manifold at one. I shall unravel its mystery. I shall know whether grief be there or anything else. I do not flee from it as from the bugbear. I will know about it as to the infinite pain that attends its search. Well, I am embracing it in its happiness and misery, decay and death, which are but the outcome of the senses. I will know about it, will give up my life for it. There is nothing to know about in this world. Therefore, if there is anything beyond this relative existence that the Lord Buddha has designed as Praj- Prajnapara, the transcendental, if such there be, I want that alone. Whether happiness attend is or grief, I do not care. What a lofty idea! How grand the religion of Buddha has reared itself on the Upanishad, and upon that also philosophy of Shankara. Only Shankara had not the slightest bit of Buddha's wonderful heart, dry intellect merely for fear of the tantras, for the fear of the mob, in his attempt to cure a boil. He's amputate, he amputated the very arm itself. One has to write a big volume if one has to write about them at all. But I have neither the learnings nor the leisures for it. The Lord Buddha is my Ishto, my God. He preached no theory about Godhead. He was himself God. I fully believe it. But no one has the power to put a limit to God's infinite glory. No, not even God himself has the power to make himself limited. The translation of the Gangadhar Sutta that you have made from the Sutta Nipata is excellent. In that book, there is another sutta, the Dhaniya Sutta, which has got a similar idea. There are many passages in the Dhammapada, Dhammapada too, with similar ideas, but that is at the last stage when one has not or got perfect satisfaction with knowledge and realization is the same under all the circumstances and gain mastery over his senses. He who has not the least regard for his body has something to be taken care of. It is he who may roam about at pleasure like a mad elephant caring for naught. whereas a puny creature like him myself should practice devotion, sitting one spot till he attains realization, and then only should we behave like that. But it is fair of question, very far indeed. To a knower of Brahman, food comes of itself without effort. He drinks wherever he gets it. He roams at pleasure everywhere. He is fearless, sleeps sometimes in the forest, sometimes in crematoriums and treads the path which the Vedas have taken, but whose end they have not seen. His body is like the sky, and he is guided like a child by others' wishes, by others' wishes. He is sometimes naked, sometimes glorious clothed, and at the time has only piano as his clothing. He behaves sometimes like a child, sometimes like a madman, and other times again like a glove, indifferent to cleanliness. I pray to the holy feet of our Guru that you may have that state and you may wander like a rhinoceros. Yours, Swami Vivekananda. 24th, Victory of the God. Gazipur, 25th Feb 1890. Dear Sir, the lumbago is giving a deal of trouble. The lumbago is giving good deal of trouble, or else I would have already sought to come to you. The mind does not find rest here any longer. It is 3 days since I came away from Babaji's place, but he inquires of me kindly almost every day. As soon as the lumbago is a little better, I bade goodbye to Babaji. Countless greetings to you, yours Vivekanand.